The expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
And then there's a time I was late getting to my own show because John Adams got here early. Isn't that a funny thing? So John Adams got here early, and I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. Don't even time to say goodbye. Hello, I'm late. Yes, I am overdue. I'm in a rabbit stew. Dixon, can you believe we were on till midnight talking about Tennessee and the rice handler last night? TGMD, Earth to TGMD. Earth to Brian Hart.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah,
I've been here.
Well,
I've been here. No, well, I mean, when the game starts at 8:30, it's hard to have an early post game show.
I mean, what are we doing? And the reason the game started at 8:30 last night, because I was told there's about 8,000 people there last night. Which, by the way, for an 8:30 start, when you're playing Tennessee State during the fringe of when you're playing Rice during the fringe of the Thanksgiving holiday season, I think that's a great thing. Don't you, John? To get 8,000 people, that's incredible, I think.
Can I speak now?
It's just really,
come on, man.
I mean, what are we doing?
God,
John walks in here, he's totally distracted.
Yeah, jeez. I mean,
Leslie calls.
I never know.
Fire me up, focus me, and prepare me.
I never know when I'm talking, if I'm on air. Am I on air now, Tony? Is it okay to speak?
I mean, it's been alleged.
Okay. Yeah, if you'd have had 5,000 there last night, that would have been a good crowd. Tennessee is just a huge sports town.
It's crazy.
It really is.
We had callers last night calling us around midnight.
That's kind of
for Rice.
That's kind of sad. But it speaks to your brand and what you've built here.
Matt, what do you think? I think he's trying to crack on me.
No, I meant that.
I think he's trying to crack on me. Okay, so if the SEC is a circus, Matt, what is Kiffin? The chief clown? The juggler? What would Lane Kiffin be, John, in the circus? If he...
I could see him on a high wire. He's got gators on one side and tigers on the other.
He's that animal that jumps out of a barrel and jumps back in whenever it's getting charged.
So he's walking the high wire.
He's walking the high wire, and he's got gators in a swamp.
He's the magician that appears and disappears at like 4 different spots throughout the arena.
And
he's tweeting while he's doing it.
But can you feel, I mean, I'm sympathetic in this era. I've become really sympathetic to fans. I mean, not just Tennessee fans for what they endure, but fans everywhere because they're the loyalists here. The team, the program, it means everything to them. And these players just come and go, and the coaches. I mean, this is maybe you could. It's one of the great. It's one of the top 5 seasons in Ole Miss football history. One of the top 5. And their coach, the man who is leading them into the playoffs, a chance to win a national title. He can't decide whether he wants to leave them for Florida or LSU.
And John, and nobody gets to enjoy anything anymore. Like last year, we went to the playoffs, right? Where is that now? Where's the sheen and the shine of us making the playoff?
It's nothing.
It never happened. That's right. You get your world rocked by Ohio State, who you had no business being in the ring with last year.
Yeah.
I mean, here you have this good season. You have this nice team. You're a good story. You're a fun story. You beat some great brand names like Florida, Alabama, and Oklahoma along the way. And Oklahoma turns around the next year and has your season. And it's like yours never even happened. It's like a mirage.
Yeah, well, look back, SMU. This was a program that was literally left for dead.
Yes.
In the 80s. And they built back in the first year of the 12-team playoff, SMU. Out of nowhere, I never can remember what conference it's in. It's in the playoffs. And then it goes out there against Penn State, and its star quarterback throws 100 interceptions. And everybody said, why in the world was SMU in the playoffs? Which reminds me.
Yep.
I can see a scenario. I don't think Vanderbilt makes the playoff, even if it wins out.
Matt, how funny seriously.
But
it would be at our expense, but it would be so humorous to see them get left behind.
I know, but it's bittersweet. I mean, it's dark. It's dark humor. Because look what Vanderbilt – it pretty much is Vanderbilt's greatest season, at least in modern-day college football. And it may not beat Tennessee. I'm not saying it will. But if it did, unless Oklahoma loses, it's not going ahead of Oklahoma. And they're not going to put 6 SEC teams in the playoff. Also, though, why did somebody think it was a good idea to always have the group of 5 team in the playoffs?
It's an idiotic idea.
It's really
goofy,
stupid. Now,
I'll call it what it is. It's just like goofy.
It's sacrificing a good game.
Yeah.
There's only 11 games, and one of them's going to suck.
It's symbolism over substance, Bri. It's what it is.
Well, you could have had it.
Sorry.
It would be fine if it had access. It has access. A super team could emerge, and it just blows through the regular season, beats a couple of Power 4 teams, and you say
they should have to be ranked in the top 10 legitimately to get a bid.
They should have to have some criteria
at least the top 15. But so who is going to get in? I know this is not
James
what
Madison.
we wanted. That's ridiculous.
Well, James Madison. I didn't
do
it.
But what about South Florida?
Well, this Comrade Golish guy keeps losing.
They've lost 3 games now. They're done.
Keeps worshiping.
I know.
Negative keeps worshiping him. Tells me, all the fans tell me he's the missing sauce on Heupel, and he's this and he's that, and he goes out and literally chokes.
And he totally blew the Memphis game.
And he totally blew the game. But he's this and he's that.
But at least though,
him
at least South Florida.
Expecting Comrade to beat Navy's a big ask.
Yeah, Matt.
They're underdogs in that game.
Say,
man, that's pretty sweet to me when one of the academy service schools beat somebody like that.
Yeah,
I love that quarterback.
So great.
I know, but here's the thing. A team like South Florida that played Miami, Florida, beat Boise State, all those games, it's really kind of proved itself. So it should have, but it's not even. They just really. How much thought do you think they gave this playoff?
John, they are including that group of 5 thing because they're trying to pretend like they're equals. I mean, that's what they're doing. It's the dumbest. Listen, in a perverse kind of way, I'm sort of glad we're out of it, because that would be us sitting there at 10-2 and not going, John. Think about that. If we had one more win, if the kick against Georgia's good, right, we would be sitting there with a loss to Oklahoma and a loss to Alabama. We'd be playing for the last two games. And guess what? Because Oklahoma beat us, who would go? See how good you are.
Well,
do the math. We would get left behind.
No, not if you beat Georgia. You would not.
They would have Georgia's spot.
Tennessee.
I don't know about that, guys.
Yeah, well, if Georgia,
they would have the same record in the head-to-head win.
Yeah. Now they don't make that the be-all and the end-all. That head-to-head. That's part of the equation, because you could get one team beat one beat another. Kind of. There is a chance, I guess, if Oklahoma at 9 and you talk about Texas. We talked about that. I don't see Texas getting in. At 9-3, even though it beat Vanderbilt. But Oklahoma at 9-3 with its schedule, if there were a three-loss team to get into me, it would be Oklahoma. But then it lost to Texas by 17 points, though with the quarterback hurt.
So we have a lot to talk about today. Very little time to get there. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. And in the mix and in the hunt.
I'm sorry I went off on that tangent.
John Adams is presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. I'm just blowing right over him right now. It's like when you're a guitar player and you blow lead over somebody. Do you feel like I do, Peter Frampton? Do you feel like we? Brian Hartman is going to set you straight, because when the Florida game is played down through the years has mattered. And Tennessee, in these late-season Florida games, has a sterling golden record down through the years. Now, can we annex some of that mojo? We're going to find out. Leslie has a few words. Matt, did you hear Joshy Boy yesterday? Joshy Boy sounded like a man without a country yesterday. Is that Robert Frost wrote that? Who wrote Man Without a Country? Do you remember? Man Without a Country. He sounded really despondent yesterday, Matt. He admitted that he went shopping during the game the other day. He said the product doesn't speak to him. He feels very disenfranchised. All that stuff.
Sounds depressed.
What do you think, Matt?
It was kind of surprising to hear. I was a little surprised Big Josh is checked out on this season.
People were really ragging on him over on YouTube. They were really going. I was defending him.
Where's his heart on his sleeve?
That's why I said I know his heart.
Is this Joshy Boy?
No.
Big Josh.
Big Josh is the guy with the accent who drives his truck, and he's a great guy. And then you got Joshy Boy, who we call him Bada Bing under wing, Joshy Boy. So you got two Joshes here for the price of one.
You're kind of flashing back to your roots there, aren't you?
What are my roots?
Bada Bing.
What do you think of this sports gambling thing and the fact that the mob's still alive and well in New Jersey? Never mind. I don't want to get you started on that.
No.
I'll tell you what. Let's do. Let's get some call. Let's do this. We'll get a timeout. Matt, people misunderstand. They think Josh checked out on the Vols. What Josh is saying is college football is losing me because it's not college football anymore. Do you think he speaks for others, Matt, or do you think that is do you think that's something that college football ought to be careful with? What do you think, Matt?
No, I think it's growing, and it is something the sport's got to be careful about. We've made it a playoff or bust sport, and I think that's very unfortunate. I mean, we were just talking about how making the playoffs last year kind of doesn't mean anything, which totally overshadows the home wins against Alabama and Florida, and winning at Oklahoma in their first league. Like, all that stuff is kind of pushed to the side because, you got beat in the first round of the playoffs, and this year you're not in the playoffs, and you have fans checking out when you have two pretty big games here coming up. So I know it's definitely very real, and it's, I don't know if the TV numbers are what they are, but I do think that there's a good portion of the fan base that created the sport and just is so passionate for the sport that aren't that way as much right now.
I think he's right.
It's a growing concern, I think.
And they better be careful, because this whole thing, and we'll talk about it on the other side, because John's right. There's another element to this we haven't talked about, because I think it's part of the huge growth of the deal. But it could come back and bite this thing before it's over. In the meantime, Leslie, stay there, and our other callers stay there. And Brian Hartman's got news for you. News that you can use, which will be on the blog tomorrow. Reasons to feel good about this game. Brian's going to share it on the other side, and then we're going to continue. John has another reason for concern. And I love, listen, the drama around college football, the circus around it, the fact that Lane Kiffin is somewhere between the bearded lady, the juggler. He's walking on the wire right now. Does he fall on the LSU side of the AstroTurf? When Carl Wallenda walked across Veterans Stadium in 71, when they opened Veterans Stadium, the locals there were screaming, "Jump at him," in the 700 level, John. They didn't have an ambulance down there. They had a hearse for effect, which is pretty great. Do you remember the Wallendas? Do you remember how they used to walk?
Just totally insane.
Crazy people.
They're absolutely crazy.
He died in Mexico City on that show. That's incredible. I think, Real People, whatever the show was called. The guy died doing a stunt down in Mexico City, walking across from one side to the other, and a taxi cab hit him down below after he fell off his wire. So enjoy that with your scrambled eggs today. We'll continue with more on the other side as we come back. John Adams on a Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, after this.
Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations, Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs.
updates. See more at goofon.com. That's goofon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Goofon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Something not working right? Got a problem with your heating or plumbing? Right now, Pipe Wrench Home Services is making it easy to fix it fast with 50% off any HVAC or plumbing repair. Whether your HVAC needs some persuasion or your plumbing needs repaired, our certified technicians will be there right away to get you fixed fast. Have other plumbing or HVAC problems? We make it easy with free on-site estimates on replacements and free second opinions on repairs. So call or schedule your appointment online today at pipewrench.com and save 50% off any repair up to $500 all month long. We are committed to keeping your home cozy and worry-free this holiday season. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. This limited time offer is good for residential services only. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Basilio here with Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Alan, is it true? Are we really having a Black Friday sale? Lay it on me.
Yeah, Tony, Black Friday is the biggest time of the year for us. We're going to do a 40% off sale. That's what we're doing to everybody else. But for the Tony Basilio listeners, we're going to do 45% off. So you get an additional 5% off, which should be hundreds of dollars. All you got to do is use the promo code Tony. But for the real listeners, we're going to do another promo code. The second promo code is going to be promo code NEGADAVE. So with the promo code NEGADAVE, you actually pay 5% more. So 35% off using promo code NEGADAVE, 45% off using promo code Tony.
We're kind of having some fun here, but when you're talking about 120 Supercore floors, I've shown them over on the website, the video. You can't destroy this floor.
Very tough floor that I designed. When I say literally millions of square feet, we've got 2 warehouses in Johnson City full of flooring. We're ready to go for any size project. But yeah, it's a remarkable product. It's the best waterproof flooring on the market because we sold everyone else's floors and I designed a floor that's better than everyone else.
WeShipFloors.com. Free shipping to all, anywhere in the country.
Go Vols, Tony.
Kevin Brockway, ladies and gentlemen, now joins on your TLD Logistics hotline. Kevin is a
right now at the printer shop minting the Kiffin Family World Tour T-shirt. So far, it's had 2 stops. They played Baton Rouge yesterday, 3 hours, 2 encores. And then they went to Gainesville and apparently did a 2-hour set, played a lot of the hits. Brian Hartman, you produced this show for a long time, so let's structure this interview before Kevin Brockway joins us. We should have done this off the air today. How long do we spend on our football game this week, and how long do we spend on the fact that college football is a circus and Lane Kiffin could be its bearded lady at this point?
Well, everything is tied together and related. Florida is playing Tennessee this weekend, and then they might be waiting on Lane Kiffin, who has an open date, and maybe Lane Kiffin goes down and goes to the game in Gainesville this week on his open date.
So, John, Tom Petty is from Gainesville. We could do a set list: The Waiting, Hard Promises, Damn the Torpedoes, Lane Kiffin, and Layla belongs along the she belongs among the wildflowers.
Baton Rouge is in one of his songs.
There you go. I mean, come on. I love me some Tom Petty. So what do you do, John? Do we focus on the Tennessee game and what's left of Florida, or do we focus on the Lane Kiffin thing? I mean, I got to ask Kevin Brockway. Kevin, if you were in my shoes, how would you handle this on the TLD Logistics phone line?
I mean, yeah, you got to talk about Lane, and you got. I would split it even, but
yeah.
You know, as far as what's going on here, you know, I was at the game in Oxford on Saturday night, and there is, I think, you know, last week, you know, there were some reports that were thrown out that were absolutely false, that were ridiculous, like he wasn't going to make an announcement on Sunday. But you know, I think, like, you know, that there was cheerful optimism last week, and now with LSU entering the picture, it's turned into cautious optimism.
So where did those reports come? Were there like media people or fringe media people down there that were saying that stuff? Where did that stuff
I don't
come
want to
from?
even distinguish it, but it's some Twitter guy who claims to have some connections with some people on the board of trustees, and he's a podcast host, but it's just, like I said.
He paid like $15 for a check mark, one of those deals.
Yeah, completely ridiculous. And, you know, look, he's not going to make an announcement until the Egg Bowl. I think we know that, at least. And who knows, I mean, with the college football playoff, although you hear different things about Keith Carter giving him an ultimatum,
that's
or
right.
a deadline with regards to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see anything forthcoming. You know, Thanksgiving weekend will be crazy, but until then, this is kind of the calm before the storm.
And we're a week and a half away, John. Can you imagine? And in the middle of that, Tennessee's got to play a very pivotal game for them. And then you wonder how checked in or checked out Florida is at this point. But the Lane Kiffin thing is a total circus. Kevin Brockway of your Gainesville Sun joining, and the Gannett Florida Network. And Kevin does an excellent job, and he's been really gracious to us down through the years. John, where do you want to go with this? Hit it.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Florida first in that crazy situation as a backup plan. Here's a coach. I've got a recommendation for a coach. If Lane Kiffin goes to LSU or stays at Ole Miss or goes to the NFL or just gets out of the business altogether, is Jim Mora at Connecticut. I think he's a really good coach. He won at UCLA, which is a hard place to win. UConn was 10-50 in the last 5 years before he was hired. 10-50.
Hey, Matt Dixon, is John off his meds today? What do we got going on in here, Matt? I mean, I've asked him.
I'm not sure if there's something in the air in the studio, but you both seem a little off, especially you, Tone. No offense.
Tim,
what?
Yeah, Jim Moore would be a pretty hard sell to the fan base. I think to me, all I'm hearing about the plan B is either Eli Drinkwitz or Jed Fish, and Jed Fish is a guy who was a GA under Spurrier. You know, he's had some success the last few years in Arizona and Washington. He's another offensive guy who has a proven track record of, you know, top 5 offenses in this conference. You know, he might be the fallback option, Jed, and would be somewhat of a palatable hire because of his Spurrier ties, I think.
Jim Morrow, Google him. He wins.
No, listen. Here's the thing about it, though. Today, you got to sell whatever that term is. You got to win the press conference, whatever the thing is, whatever that saying is.
Well,
it's kind of a shame.
Why don't you? If you're down to Eli Drakowitz, then go after Josh Heupel. He would be a better pick than Eli Drakowitz.
We don't want to lose our coach to them, John.
Well, I'm speaking from a Florida perspective. I'm not saying he would go, but he would be a better hire than Eli Drakowitz.
He would, but I think it's a matter of who's available. I mean, and the reality of it, like, you know, who could Florida get? You know, I was wondering if Franklin was kind of waiting, but then, you know, he obviously made the announcement yesterday with Virginia Tech, and there's some rumblings he's actually waiting on Florida State too, and you know, maybe maybe Norvell bought himself another year with that win over Virginia Tech, and if they get bowl eligible, and FSU is in a worse financial position where they don't have the money, I think right now to buy out Mike Norvell. So I think I think, like I said, I think those are really some of the guys. I mean, I know, you know, another pipe dream candidate that's been mentioned is Lincoln Riley, but I just don't see him leaving USC yet, even though it's been really up and down for him out there in LA. But those would be, you know, possibly some of the plan Bs if things don't work out with Lane.
How much interest is left with Florida right now of this season? The fan base, people around you. The players obviously played hard the other night. After, I'm going to tell you a quick story. We had Bobby Wilder on the show last week, who's Tennessee Tech. They've done a great job. They'd won like 17 in a row. Just a completely resurgent, great story. And it was ironic because they were getting ready to go play Kentucky. We were going to get him on anyway. But he said, hey, I'm watching the video from last week. And he says, an aside, and he's just a very out loud guy. He said, I got to tell you, he said, Florida's quit. He said, they had no interest in being there. You know, just when you're a coach and you watch that, you know, you almost kind of get the cold shakes. And then they went out and they played really hard. Kevin, explain to me the dichotomy between the Kentucky game and the game at Ole Miss. What was that?
You know, I think they said it was better practice and better preparation that week. And maybe, you know, the hangover from the Georgia loss, perhaps. But, you know, Kentucky, you know, you turn the ball over 4 times in the first half. DJ Lagway is a bad half, and it's been a bad season in that regard, and it gets away from you. I thought Ole Miss, they took care of the ball better for one. But, yeah, they did. They played with an edge in that game, perhaps because of all the Kiffin speculation. Heck, you know, maybe some of them felt like they were auditioning for him. You know, you could say that, right? And particularly DJ Lagway had a pretty good first half, and then, you know, reverted and made the big mistake in the second half. But I think as a microcosm as a whole of the Napier era, and, you know, Gonzalez is the interim now, I think that's been the most dumbfounding thing to Gator fans is how you can get up for games and take teams like Georgia and Ole Miss into the fourth quarter and yet lay an egg against Kentucky. Or in year one, they laid an egg against Vanderbilt. And earlier this season, they laid an egg against USF, who's, you know, had a nice season under Alex Golesh, but you should still beat USF at the Swamp. And that was the problem, was that, you know, maddening inconsistency. And, you know, for as much as Billy Napier talked about attention to detail in his press conferences, it never showed on the field. And, you know, the margin for error now has become just slimmer and slimmer with the parity in college football.
What's left for Florida? What's left for this team? How hard do they play Saturday night?
Well, I think they'll get up for Tennessee and they'll get up for FSU because it's their 2 rivals. That's what they're talking about. They're going to honor Urban Meyer before the game for the College Football Hall of Fame. And, you know, Billy Gonzalez obviously, you know, got his career start under Urban going all the way back to Colorado State. So there'll be a little emotion in the stands for that. And you're coming back to the Swamp and you're playing in front of your fans. And listen, I mean, there is a history, right? And if Tennessee's going to break it. This should be the year to break it. They've lost 10 in a row in the Swamp. I mean, you have to go all the way back to Casey Clausen beating Ron Zook back in 2003. It's been a while since they've won there. So, but I think they're certainly concerned about what Tennessee can do offensively. And heck, Aguiar's having a heck of a season for the Vols, and I think it really starts with the pass defense.
Hey, Matt Dixon, I bring you in here. Why do I get the feeling that the leak year quarterback's going to lose this game? Both these guys will leak around a little bit in these big games. No offense to either one of them. Obviously, Florida's guy's more leakier, but why do I get the feeling the leakier guy loses a game? And is that a decent read on this, the turnover?
Yeah, no, I think it's fair. Whichever quarterback plays best is his team's more than likely going to win. Neither team does anything exceptionally well. I guess Tennessee's offense is probably the best unit on the field, but Tennessee's defense is probably the worst unit on the field. So I just don't. It's hard to see Tennessee stopping Florida a ton, but they create turnovers, which is the one thing that Lagway's probably struggled with more than anything.
Yeah.
So. But turnovers are always kind of a luck wild card deal in every game. You see Oklahoma didn't force turnovers all year, and then was like +3 in games in Knoxville and Tuscaloosa. So, but the quarterback play will go a long way to deciding it.
What is it?
And which team can be more balanced and run the ball, because both teams have pretty good running games, I think.
So, Kev, Joey has this thing where he just kind of throws the ball for grabs every once in a while, which was the book on him at when he was doing his thing at App State, and he's got kind of this gunslinger thing, but he'll throw like punts up in the air almost. It really, Lagway does some crazy things on a football field. Like things so different than the guy we saw last year.
Not having the off-season reps, not being able to develop, and Billy Napier talked about mental reps, obviously, but he still struggles with his own coverages, making reads. Sometimes, his footwork, doing those sidearm throws. Sometimes he thinks he's kind of cute, like Patrick Mahomes a little bit, but that's sometimes when he gets in trouble, when he doesn't throw the ball fundamentally sound. But he's got a good arm, and Gonzalez is having him run a little more, and he hasn't been bad, and in regards to when he does do a design run, he can be okay, and I think he's gotten probably a little healthier as the season has gone on. And you saw some of that old flash of that deep ball when he threw that touchdown to Sturdivant in that Ole Miss game. So I think he's just been up and down with the turnovers. 13 interceptions, that's the most in the SEC. Only 12 touchdown passes. And he really hasn't shown that dual threat ability until recently, the last few games. But Jaden Baugh is a nice player. Look, he's going to be, he's got a shot to go over 1,000 yards, and he'd be the first Florida running back to do that since Kelvin Taylor in 2015. I think they lean heavily on him in the run game. They're beat up at receiver right now. Vernell Brown, the third, their best freshman receiver, is probably still questionable for this game. And they've lost Eugene Wilson and Dallas Wilson for the season. So they're really, depleted there as well in terms of all the injuries. They thought that was going to be a big strength, but the receivers haven't been able to stay healthy.
As we visit with Kevin Brockway, we have a confluence of things going on here. I'm of the opinion if Tennessee doesn't beat Florida down there this year, I don't even know why we would waste fuel in future seasons. How prone are the Gators right now? How ripe for the taking are they in your mind?
Oh, yeah. No, I think if you're going to do it, this is the year to do it, just because of the fact that, I still think they're a pretty beat-up team right now. And, anytime you're playing under an interim coach and an interim staff, and you're a staff like Josh Heupel, I think you could probably exploit things a little better. Not saying that, Napier was the second coming of Vince Lombardi, but he did have some qualities, coaching-wise that, perhaps could have been helpful in a game like this, or how he would maybe manage a game a little more conservative. I mean, these guys are a little more they're letting their players play with a little more freedom. But I think that's why maybe you've seen some of the turnovers here and there. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. But yeah, I think that given how the season has gone, if you start the game well, if you're Tennessee, I wouldn't give Florida life. And Florida's defense does tend to play a little better in the swamp as well. So Miles Graham has had a really nice season at linebacker. He's been their best defensive player, most consistent all season. Had a great game against Ole Miss. So they've got some talent on the defensive end that even though they've given up some points and yards the last couple of games, where they can be dangerous, particularly at home.
Kevin, I got a question here. What's the crowd turnout expected on Saturday? Is it going to be a sold-out full house, do you think? There's Florida fans selling their tickets?
They haven't announced it yet, and it could be a sellout in name only, like you said, and but I think people will show up for Urban a little bit, and it's a night game, and it's if it's not too chilly and if the weather's good, I think people will still come out, and Florida's one of those fan bases that's exceptionally loyal, and maybe there's a buzz because they know a new coach is coming, and who knows, maybe they'll look for Lane in the stands or something. I don't know, but there'll be I think it'll be a pretty decent crowd. Although I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little more orange there, Tennessee orange, buying up some of the tickets.
Kevin, what about this scenario? What if Lane Kiffin tells Florida he wants to be their next coach, but he wants to see this season through with Ole Miss? What would Florida tell him?
I mean, if I'm Florida, I would wait, and I think they have to too at this point. I think they have to ride it out with Billy Gonzalez as the interim through the college football playoff. And I think you just, if that's going to create a little bit of, attrition in the class, and so be it, because I think Lane has proven. I mean, he's taken a Division II quarterback from Ferris State and turned him into one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC. He'll, you get him, whatever players you get him, he's going to coach him up. And if it sacrifices some talent on one recruiting class, so be it. You just have to, have your fingers crossed that it ends on December 20th for him, and then you can go from there. But I think that's something that it will be a fascinating decision to see if Scott Strickland, agrees with my assessment on that, or if they try to, go to a plan B, which I don't think would be popular with the fan base if Lane Kiffin was still out there.
You know what's wild to me, Kevin? You and I have talked down through the years. There's such a passion there for football and not so much for basketball. I'm watching them in hoops last night because, the ESPN Plus thing or whatever. And good night are they good this year. Again, good night are the Florida Gators. They have a hell of a team again. And they go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a lot of concern here about the backcourt, the guards and the shooting. I mean, the shooting three-point shooting has been abysmal, but they do have an unbelievable front court, probably the best in the country.
Oh, my gosh, man.
Yeah.
Because that Hal kid is taking the Hawk, however he said, the kid from Pennsylvania, has taken an unbelievable step. I'm watching that last night, and I'm going, because we have issues here in the backcourt as well, but I think that's an issue across college basketball. Auburn has an issue with their backcourt, the shooting, and they came close to beating Houston the other night. This is it kind of is what it is in that sport. But Kev, any final thoughts for us here on the way out? You've been incredible today.
I appreciate it. Yeah, just I'm looking forward to see how this coaching search unfolds, and I think that right now, we're in wait and see mode. But the fans want Lane, and you just wonder. I've always wondered all these trolling things on Twitter with Napier over the years, like the burn sign for the spring game. If that was secretly Lane being a little jealous that he got passed over the first time, and now this is his opportunity to seize it and get it and to, fulfill his destiny and be the next Spurrier. I think that is something that has always been in the back of his mind. Talking to people close to him, Florida's always been the dream job. Let's see if he follows through on it.
He's really flaky. He's really odd.
Yeah.
Do you believe his family was at LSU and Florida yesterday? Are we believe in that, or is this just part of the circus?
I don't know. There was a report about him being here on Sunday, and I can't just see him hopping on a plane that quickly. But you never know. I mean, maybe they had something lined up for him. But I just, like I said, there's so much misinformation being thrown out there, Tony, and it's very frustrating.
When we were chasing the ghost of John Gruden around almost a decade ago, people were having apparitions of him, like he was appearing to people in the clouds. But
yeah, it's nuts.
Kev, thanks, man. Great talking to you.
All right, great catching up, guys.
Thanks. Kevin Brockway, one more time, of your Gainesville Sun. And
he does a good job.
He's excellent. Yeah. All right, guys, what's Lane going to do? Let's go around the room. Brian, where's Lane going to end up? Stay at LSU. Stay at Ole Miss. Go to LSU or go to Florida?
Call me crazy. I think he's going to stay where he's at.
All right.
He's either going to do that or go to the NFL.
Matt, what you got?
I think he stays. I think he stays. I think he's as long as Ole Miss is in the playoffs, I think he winds up staying.
John?
I've been leaning toward his staying because I just can't imagine. I know Lane is unorthodox is one way to put it, I guess. However, the idea of leaving a playoff team, what does that say about the whole college football scene? The coach would just imagine in the NFL. The coach doesn't leave a team when he's made the playoffs and go to another team. It just shows that it just minimizes, trivializes
the game
itself.
Right.
There's a school of thought that would you want to hire a coach that would lead his team in the middle of the playoffs?
Apparently,
would you want that guy leading your program?
Apparently, two schools want him. That's
because
the system they've set up.
Well, there's no other option because of the schedule.
Well, that's why I think the NFL's out there because that's a better timeline for that.
It's such a stupid sport from that.
Well, here's another way to think about this, though. If Lane Kiffin, he's going into the playoffs with Ole Miss, this is not the last chance for him to go to maybe a bigger program.
Yeah.
What about Texas? What if Steve Sarkisian doesn't make it in the playoffs next year at Texas? I don't think Longhorn fans are really excited about the way this season has gone at Texas. He hadn't brought them a championship. They're kind of thinking those Ohio State terms. It's not about making the playoffs, it's about winning the championship. Okay,
yeah.
So look at Texas. What about Oklahoma? How long will Brent Venables hang on? What about the Florida State job? I think you've got a greater path to the playoffs at Florida State than Florida.
The whole thing is completely, like Matt said, idiotic. And Josh yesterday came on here and riled people up because they took it as a Tennessee-centric comment. I heard what he was saying. It was not Tennessee-centric. He said, I didn't watch the Tennessee game this weekend and went shopping at the outlets because that's what college football's done to me. And you know what? I kind of get where he's coming from. I kind of get it. Even though I love the sport, Matt has told me it's getting harder and harder as a sport to recognize. Look, I love all the intrigue and I love all these convergent storylines and these crazy ass boosters and all the money they throw at these coaches and worship them, and then a year and a half later they want to kill them. It's the craziest thing going. They never learn, John. They hire a guy. They talk about how he breathed on me and I felt different. And then a year and a half later, they want to fire him. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Tony, if you're getting ready to fire a coach at a big-time program, you should have your guy, your next guy, already picked out.
But here's the problem, John. There are 9 other openings. So how are you going to have your next guy picked out?
But for Penn State to fire James Franklin
is really silly.
That was just...
That's the height of stupidity.
It really was. Who does Penn State think it is?
And
Lane Kiffin's not considering Penn State.
John, a week ago on here, and I told him myself in the blog, there were people saying that he was going to be announced Monday.
And I said, where are you people getting that? There's no way James Franklin is going to go to Virginia Tech. James Franklin went to Virginia Tech. That is an awesome hire for them.
Oh, yeah.
That is a grand slam for Virginia Tech to get that guy.
Sure.
And what they need to do is put the band back together. Look, Brent Pry, who was one of his DCs up there with Penn State back in the day, the former head coach at Virginia Tech, you can't put that toothpaste back in that tube. But you can get a freshly minted Tim Banks. It is time, my friends. And I'll tell the Virginia Tech fan listening to us, Tim Banks is a great defensive coordinator. He is a tactician. He is an X's and O's, almost a savant, if you will. He's a tremendous recruiter. He's a tireless worker. If you're listening to us and you're from Tech and you're like a media person, I want to, from my heart to yours, I want you to know he's highly accessible. You can't keep him off the talk shows. You can't keep the man off the talk shows. He'll be an ambassador for your program.
How many times has he been on your show now?
As we continue with more on the other side, 865-200-5402. Leslie is going to break it down. Leslie, are you going to break it down scientifically? Is that what's getting ready to happen, Leslie? Scientifically. Dare I say. I think she's breaking it down scientifically. On the other side right after. Does she sound committed, John, to that?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, I didn't either after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. The holiday season is here, and if your plans include unwrapping your new home, then take advantage of less competition and motivated sellers while others are out fighting over parking spots at the mall. Smart buyers are out snagging deals on great homes, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols!
Jennifer Morris is a coolest, man.
If she's fighting for parking space at the mall, she wins.
I ain't messing with her.
She gets it.
She's what you call cool.
I would say no moss.
No moss. Let's keep it live and legal. Hour number 2 right here.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fanrun Radio.
All right, here we go. TB and you, let's get down to brass tacks before I get Leslie. She's going to join because she's going to break it down scientifically. Brian Hartman, speaking of science, make me feel good about this Florida game because we had a slew of, shall we say, I don't want to say negavals because people have every reason to feel terribly about this upcoming game and dreading this upcoming game. We've lost to some corpse Florida teams. We've lost to some great Florida teams down there. We've lost to some bad Florida teams.
Is it a bad omen that Urban Meyer will be there for Tennessee? He never lost to the Vols.
Oh, boy.
They ought to let him
Well, he's
coach.
not on the sideline, so he won't be coaching.
Yeah, but he might be hooked up to the coach that is coaching on the sideline.
He might. Well, it's true.
I mean,
he might be looking at film for him this week to help him because they're boys. He was kind of his fixer.
He would.
That Gonzalez guy was his fixer. He used to go back and cover all the crimes up. Come on, John.
No. I had a thought, but I can't say it on air.
Yeah. So
it was about you.
Interesting. So, bada bang. All right. So
you've probably fixed it. Your family's probably fixed a few things in their time. No, as you would say, no offense.
Well, if some of you people like to comment on YouTube, we could either block you or erase. Never mind. Brian Hartman, share with me, if you will. Share with me, Brian, the good news, because this will run tomorrow at tclub.team.
There have been 10 meetings between Tennessee and Florida that have taken place in November or December. And the first one was back in 1928.
I covered
the
that
last
game.
one was in 2020. Go ahead, John.
No, I just said I covered that.
He covered all 10
game.
of them.
Yeah, that was
What's
pretty good stuff.
What's Tennessee's record, Brian, those games?
They are 7-3. They won the first 5 in that scenario from 1928 through 1953. They have, however, dropped 3 of the last 5, but both of the games they've won since 1954 against Florida in November or December were in Gainesville, like this year's is. The only times they've lost there to Florida in this scenario is 1954 in Knoxville, 14-0. The Tricky Dicky game in 1969, 14-13. And the COVID year, which hardly even should count, they lost 31-19 at Neyland in December 5th of 2020, the COVID season. So that was under Pruitt.
Yeah, that's Jeremy Pruitt, so that shouldn't count.
The recent wins were they won there in 2001 in the game that was postponed due to the tragic 9/11 thing. They won 34-32 as a 17-point underdog in what was Coach Spurrier's last game in the Swamp. So when they play that game late, history favors the Vols in this 70% of the time.
We just talked to Kevin Brockway. Look, I was looking on the aftermarkets last night. Hey, listen. Tickets are $70 last night. Tickets going to be $15 at kickoff. Because if they're $70 on a Monday, they ain't going to do nothing during the week but fall.
Would Negative would caution anybody about going down there and buying a ticket for even $15. So that was a chilling tale he told last week about his experience in Gainesville.
I was having a really good show, and you got to bring that clown up.
Sorry.
Because he was a punk and a clown last night.
He was great last week. That license.
that story about him stealing the license
tag.
Yeah.
But did he talk about the bad experiences in the Swamp too? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Or have I got callers.
I'm having a bad
caller confusion.
I'm having a bad experience with him over on our YouTube comments. He just said it won't matter to Brian Hartman. It won't matter. That was his reply. He's just a total.
No, he's just big.
He's a turd.
I don't think you should refer to your callers that way, Tony.
Matt, is that a bad thing to say? Or do I have a right to feel beaten down by him and exhausted of his antics?
You probably shouldn't say it, but I totally understand where you're coming from.
Exactly.
I thought he carried the show last week when I was on.
I love Negative as a
as a interesting caller. People think that I know Nega Dave. I've never met Nega Dave. I wouldn't know Nega Dave if I bumped into him. He kind of annoys me. He thinks our basketball team's going to go 500 in the league, which is kind of entertaining. But let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning, everybody. Leslie. So I did tell Tony that I was very fired up when I heard Josh's call, Big Josh, yesterday. I hope y'all are all doing well. As for the question, I think Lane stays. I told Tony this, I think, in an email. Lane's on his own personal redemption tour. So, I mean, y'all can call me crazy, but I think he stays. And in a couple of years, he could end up back at Rocky Top. His son, Knox, does not want to play for his dad. He wants to go to LSU or Florida, ironically enough. And I think Lane is on a journey where he's thinking of others instead of himself. So that's my take. I think he stays, coaches his team, and just, passes those opportunities up. But I've been wrong a lot, so that's my take.
Leslie, do you usually look for the good in people?
I try to, but I think for me in this particular situation, it's more of the spiritual side of things. I've read a lot of what he's said lately and seen some of his interviews, like, seeing him saying the things. And I do consider myself a pretty intuitive person, and I think he's genuinely a changed man. So that's just kind of the angle that, I don't know him. I don't know anybody that knows him. That's just me looking from the outside in. So I don't really hate Lane like a lot of Tennessee fans do.
No, I don't either.
I respect that. It seems like almost since day one, he said, this is my dream job. But he's also said, I made a mistake. And if we're not allowed to make mistakes, then I might as well hang it up myself, Cause,
he told me personally on the air when he was still the coach at USC, now he was getting ready to get fired. But in true Lane Kiffin fashion, when he was on here with us, he said, biggest mistake of my life I've ever made was leaving Tennessee, and I think about it every day. I regret that I did it every day. And I have regretted it. And I do think, I know he keeps in touch with people in our community because people have shown me text messages. And I know he has a great affinity for this place. And I know that a cycle and a half ago, when the job came open, he was trying to get involved with it. And I know he holds this place in really high esteem. And I do think that he has changed. I agree with that. It's going to be really interesting to see, though, what he does here, because the pull of this, the pull of those two jobs, and here's the thing about Lane Kiffin. For years and years and years, John, we've been on here, nobody would take him seriously. But now, all of a sudden, he's the belle at the ball. Like, several hiring cycles happened at several different places. But now, all of a sudden, John, Lane Kiffin's the belle at the ball. Isn't that an interesting thing to think about?
It really is. And the fact that he's so in such high demand when he really hasn't won anything.
That's right.
That's kind of
the
intriguing.
other side of it.
But it's his, I think a lot of it is his game day charisma, the image he has. Of, he's flamboyant, high-scoring offenses, good quarterback. And he loves taunting other coaches. He's got that Steve Spurrier model. He's got that Steve Spurrier model, and that would be the main reason I would think he would go to Florida, because that was his guy. That was Steve Spurrier. He loves Steve Spurrier. I remember when he was here, he said that.
But does he want to follow in those footsteps, or does he want to stay at Ole Miss and become a hero who will be remembered for all time? Even if he does end up leaving, he will be the one that took them to the modern-day playoff. And they have, I mean, other than Ohio State, Ole Miss has as good a chance as anybody, in my opinion, in the field to take the whole thing. So he has a chance for a redo. I mean, was he going to win here we don't know, but I mean, he had a real opportunity and he gave it up. So I think he stays. And if he stays, it sounds like, Florida maybe they're going to move on. I don't know, but I would take him back at Tennessee all day long. So I'm probably just wishful thinking, but I did tell Tony, off the air when he said, "Who is this?" I said I wanted to speak to Big Josh's comment. So if y'all give me a minute, I will.
No, go for it.
So anybody question Big Josh's dedication as a fan, they don't have orange blood running through their veins. Me and him are the same, and I know a lot of times he agrees with my calls, and, I've never met him. I wouldn't know him if I passed him on the street, but I think we probably grew up a lot the same, blue collar. I could never go to games as a kid. We couldn't afford that. We lived too far away. But for me, my granddaddy J.C., who was a World War II veteran, taught me about the Tennessee Vols and the Lady Vols. I will never forget all the stories he told me about seeing Coach Summit when she played high school ball. He went all over West Tennessee watching her play. He helped out at Waverly High School when my mom went there, and then continued, and he saw Coach Summit come play there, and he knew greatness in an athlete when he saw it. And so he followed her. He kept up with the Lady Vols all through, as long as he was living. She outlived him, but that's how I was raised. And then also the football team, my first game was with my granddaddy J.C. And I've talked about it a little bit, but it was September 25th, 1999. Tennessee was hosting the Memphis State Tigers, and someone that knew my granddaddy well and had season tickets from around New Johnsonville, Tennessee, I can't remember who it was, but they gave him these tickets for me and my sister and my granddaddy to go. I was 26. Jonah, who I've mentioned, he was a year old. He went on, to graduate from UT, but I will never forget watching in January of 99 with my granddaddy JC and Jonah, and he loved that little boy. And Jonah was named after my granddaddy, Jonah Hall. But anyway, we watched that game together, and that's the kind of fan I am, and I think that's who Big Josh is too. And in that game, though, I want to point out too what he's talking about the modern day version with these pairs being played, and I'm not necessarily against that, but back then, the Memphis State Tigers had zero chance of winning that football game. But pride, sheer willpower, and belief in themselves as a team, they were ahead almost the whole game. A late touchdown drive by the Vols and the point after, which put us ahead 17-16, and that was what the final score ended up being, but it was late in the fourth quarter. Cedric Wilson, y'all remember him, he caught the winning or the tying touchdown pass. He was from Memphis.
Yep.
Do you think that game mattered to him? Do you think it mattered to him wearing the power tee, wearing the orange and white? Did it matter to him?
Leslie,
and then we have this in-state player now. Does it matter to him? Did it matter to him and his mom? That's what Big Josh is talking about, I think. I can't speak for him, but it's never going to be like that again.
We have fans today saying that Big Josh quit on the Vols, and they're mad at him, and they're mad at you for taking his side. They're mad at you for taking his side. Matt, you seem to understand where Big Josh was coming from. Do you think Big Josh quit on the Vols, Matt, over the weekend? Do you buy that?
No, not that. I mean, it's New Mexico State.
Thank you. That's where I'm at.
He'll be fired up by Friday. He'll probably call in and be fired up.
Yes, he will
this week because it's Florida.
Yes, he will.
So, but he was checked out last week, and I understand it. And his big picture point is I really understand that, and it's a concern I think the entire sport needs to have.
Which is the big picture point, because people miss the nuance. No offense to some of these people over on YouTube. They never understand nuance. No offense to them. I don't know about emotional intelligence. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. No offense to y'all. Share, Matt, what we're getting at here.
just that passion and kind of just the soul of college football, the college football that a lot of us kind of fell in love with and grew up with, is slowly, being just ripped away. Kind of like the NASCAR deal. Although college football's way too big to fail like NASCAR, but it's certainly becoming more and more just like a minor league to the NFL, and I don't think that's a good thing. College football should stand on its own because there's a whole lot that separates it from the NFL, and it begins with fans and just the passion that fans have.
Yep. And Leslie, I was just told, oh, Tony, that's good. Insult your audience. Leslie, one thing we do on here, we keep it real, Leslie. I mean, you and I have had fights. We've had fights in the past, right? But we keep it real.
Oh, yeah.
We keep it real, man.
Hey, any of them, I mean, you've met me and Vino's met me, but hey, any of them want to post up? Hey, I'll see them, I mean, look, my passion runs with my connection to my granddaddy.
That's right.
My family, that I was born here.
Yes.
I mean, I don't care, and I'm as passionate as they come. So, one other thing I got to say is, why is our coach not on any of the hot boards?
I think he is. Isn't he, John? He's being mentioned.
He's not on any of the graphics you're seeing all around.
I think he's being mentioned, John. Don't you? Some of the hot boards.
I just don't think Josh Heupel resonates with fans nationally. He doesn't have a presence on social media. He doesn't say anything in a press conference. He's as vague as a human being can be. So he doesn't. People don't feel like they know him. He's the opposite of Lane Kiffin, who has a charismatic quality to him. Josh Heupel, though, I wrote a column about this, comparing his record to Eli Drinkwitz. If you look at the resumes, why wouldn't you want Josh Heupel over Eli Drinkwitz? I would.
Because Drinkwitz does his stunts, and that stuff resonates.
He could be a little folksy at times. He's got a way about him.
That's very interesting.
He's chatty. I think that matters.
I think you're probably right. And Leslie, thank you. I have seen him, though, referenced with LSU. Like R.J. Choppy, for instance, does radio in Dallas, who's a guy that interned under me when we were kids, but he does a morning show in Dallas now. He texted me yesterday, and he said, is this stuff with Heupel and LSU real? And that's why, see, he has been mentioned by some people for some jobs.
I just think it would come down, he'd be like their fifth choice at best.
Brian,
most places.
How did he get this job? I mean, let's talk about it. James Franklin, who they went after, got a huge raise.
They actually talked to Tony Elliott.
They talked to Tony. They offered it twice to Tony Elliott.
The Kansas State coach.
2 times. That's 2 times. So
he doesn't. Jimmy Sexton's not his agent, so he's not going to be a name that gets thrown out for every hot board.
That's right.
That's a really good point.
That's a great point. That's the great point. Somebody said Heupel's razor. Said, welcome to the Leslie Show. Our first caller is Tony. Are you encouraging that, John, by laughing at that?
It was funny.
On your TLT logistics phone lines, let's go back to the phone. See,
Leslie in Maury County.
Even you, you emotionally unintelligent losers on YouTube can pop us every once in a while. I'm just kidding, y'all. Hey, welcome in. You're on the air.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Tony, what's going on? It's Rod in Clarksville.
Rod, how we doing, brother?
Hey, it's hard to come behind Leslie, dude, because I can feel her compassion, and of course, I love what Big Josh said yesterday too.
Really?
I do agree with it. Yeah,
people are really, because people think he quit on the team, and that's not what he was saying. He was saying this sport is changing so quickly in front of my face that I don't recognize it, and that's okay. That's okay to say that. I honor that, man.
You know, Tony, I'm sitting here in my room and I'm looking at this memorabilia that I have of Travis Stevens, and I got them all in frames and everything. And I talk to him all the time, and it's like, you know, he tells me, you know, there was nothing like that game in Florida, you know, giving Steve Spurrier his last loss And he's like, Rodney, we done it for free. We didn't even get paid. We done it because we had pride and compassion about what we were doing. We done it for our coach. We done it for our family members, And to see what's going on right now in college football is just like, it's wild. It's wild. But I do have 2 points I need to make to you and John, and then a point to Brian and Matt. To you and John, my point is, how we talked about, our teams, like in 2022 when we were winning and, we had compassion and we didn't jump off sides and all these things. We just kept the ball rolling. It's funny how when we're winning, we don't allow a missed field goal to affect us. This season, we allowed the missed field goal in Georgia to affect the whole season. Because we haven't played with discipline ever since we've missed that field goal. Do you agree?
Well, I think that was a high watermark for the team. Now, I think other things enter into that, but you talk about athletes being in a zone. It's so Tennessee's whole team was in a zone in that game, and that's about as well as this team could play. And I think what it really did, Rod, was it impacted the fan base even more than it did the team, because that game raised expectations. I don't know not many times in all the years I've been following Tennessee has a loss raised expectations. But that was a case where it did, and I think people then thought this is a playoff team. I thought it was a playoff team. But you're right, we didn't see that again.
You can go back to even the fumble where they had a chance to go up by 2 scores and they ended up kicking a field goal to go up 8, and then Georgia ties the game on an incredible 4th down pass. They haven't really been the same team since that. That could have been more so than, because if you stop those things, it doesn't come down to a field goal.
And I'm thinking to myself mentally, if we would have stopped those things, I don't think we would have 3 losses or 4 losses. I think our season would have been totally different because we'd have had confidence after beating Georgia that we could beat anybody. And that's what our team is missing right now. I think that's what's going on. But my second point to Matt and Bry was, okay, let's just say, you're a position coach at the University of Tennessee right now, and the pride that you have of, wearing those colors. In 2022, when you would go to the grocery store with your family, you couldn't even get out of your car in front of Kroger and, Food City without everybody running, towards you and getting autographs. And of course, when you got in the building, everybody was getting autographs from you then. Imagine what it feels like now to pull up at them same grocery stores and nobody shows up in your face. Go Vols.
865-200-5402. It's an interesting thing you brought up about the Georgia game and how cleanly Tennessee played and how they just haven't had that same, whatever that is. And you're right, John. They put it all together that day. But even then, they had those false start penalties that really hurt them. One of them was before a field goal, and these are controllables in your building. The thing about Heupel, and everybody makes judgments about these guys, and they live week to week, day to day with them. 2 things are true, okay? They've done a very good coaching job with this team to this point, I think. I expect to win the next 2 games. But in my heart, I don't expect to win Saturday. And I would take one of the next 2. If they get to 9-3, that's an A-level coaching job. After everything that's gone on this year. You don't have McCoy. You lost your other starting corner. Obviously you weren't going to have McCoy. That's why you went and got Colton Hood. But the eval was so good that he's going to be a first-round pick. So that's a value. You don't have safety play. You have a linebacker on your team right now. You've kind of patchworked your offensive line and worked around some injuries. If you can get to 9 wins, that's a pretty good season. It's kind of a big if from here, but it's a pretty good season. To show you the razor's edge you live on, though, if you go 7-5, they're going to be on you like white on rice. You go from an A to a D+. And I'm not sure how fair any of that is. These guys are so under the microscope and eval'd and re-eval'd. Here's one thing I do believe. If this guy doesn't fix his systems of controlling the controllables, he's not going to be here in 2 years. He better fix, because next year, if they don't start doing the little things well, when that schedule gets harder, he ain't going to make it. And I like the guy. I'm for him. Matt, am I being too dramatic or am I right? They've got to quit killing themselves. They've got to quit putting themselves behind the chains. It's all unforced stuff.
Yeah, you've got to clean up the small things, the little details, because there's fewer possessions, fewer plays now. You can't just overwhelm a team by playing with tempo. So yeah, the little things that didn't matter as much previously matter a whole lot more now. And every play, every possession, is worth more than it used to. So yeah, you got to clean up the self-inflicted, pre-snap penalties or illegal formation, whatever, all those little ticky-tack things. You've got to get all that stuff cleaned up for sure.
And that's just where I'm at. And
to their credit, they've done that the last really 3 games. They've been, they've cut down their penalties considerably these last 3 games. Hopefully that continues in these last 2.
Leslie had a really good call, and Rod did too, and they both touched on something that I think is significant. We've been talking about the state of college football today, and it's how the sport has evolved, but also how the fans have evolved. And Leslie and Rod were both speaking to this about caring about how much it mattered. And I think fans are losing. They are losing their emotional connection. They still want to watch the games. They still pull for the team, but the emotional connection, they've lost some of that. And that's one of the things that's different. On the other hand, there's a different kind of fan coming into the fan base, and that is the gambler. Betting is more prevalent than it's ever been, and I think a lot of people now are watching the game not with an emotional attachment to it, but with a monetary attachment. We're talking about players getting paid, coaches making millions. Well, now the fans have a chance to make money. Not a good one, because the book doesn't lose over the long haul. But I do think the whole thing is, we've got a different kind of fan base. Can still fill up Neyland Stadium, but I think it's in some ways a different fan.
To the phones we go. 865-200-5402. John Adams, presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. Matt giving me hope. Maybe Tennessee controls controllables this weekend in Gainesville. Because I'll tell you this right now. If you play sloppy and play slop ball down there, you got no chance. Kevin Brockway, who joined us earlier, said Tennessee's best bet's to get down there, play cleanly, knock them out in the first half, and just knock them out. And there was a path to do that. You can't beat yourself, though. And you can't get behind the sticks. And I hate to say this, but over on YouTube, Negadave reminds me that we committed 7 false start penalties against Georgia. Is that true? Is that right? In our building? I thought we played very cleanly.
No, I remember some false starts. I couldn't
7
designate a number, but I remembered some false starts.
7? That can't be right. 7? Matt, is that right? Matt or Brian?
Well, on that one driving for the winning
I
field
do
goal, they had a
remember
false
that.
start or two, a legal formation, whatever.
I do remember that. Was it 7, Matt?
And I think when they were up 5 and they had the ball after the turnover, they had a false start.
Was it really 7 guys, or is he being like he is?
No, I think they had 7 pre-snap penalties that game. Yeah.
Wow. As we continue,
and Georgia had none.
That's why Kirby wins, man, as we continue with more. And I look, I got nothing but respect for that dude because their team has grown into this season. And they should not have a record they do, but they do because everybody makes mistakes when they play against those dudes. Everybody. After this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff
staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
The season of giving reminds us of what truly matters, community and connection. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. As the year closes, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you, my Basilio family clients. Thank you for trusting me with your most important decisions. Whether it was finding your first home or successfully closing a chapter, your trust means everything. I look forward to new and continued relationships through the new year, and feel free to reach out to me at 865-694-5904 or nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And of course, go Vols.
So, rather interesting development here. Brian Hartman shared with us about Lane Kiffin. And then we'll go to the phones.
Pete Thamel said that Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin told the Pat McAfee show about a report of an ultimatum on a decision on his coaching future. And his quote was, "That's absolutely not true." So there.
Do you believe Ole Miss has told Lane Kiffin, John Adams, that if he makes the scene at Florida or LSU, he can forget about coaching them in the playoffs? Do you believe they communicated that to him?
No, Ole Miss has no leverage in this situation. Ole Miss has just got to ride it as long as he can and hope for the best and hope that Kiffin sticks with them. If not forever, at least all the way through the playoffs as far as they can go. But what would that accomplish by saying you have to make a decision? Then they're going into the playoffs. Here's another thing.
Yeah.
With the selection committee, is there a chance the selection committee, remember what it did to Florida State?
Yes.
It might just say, guys, you don't even have your coach, not the same team.
Matt, could they do that? I mean, I guess you could do anything, right? You
Sure.
could say your coach isn't there. You don't belong.
And now if they lose to Mississippi State, that gives them an out to do that. If they beat Mississippi State, that might be harder to do that.
They could still do it. Look at Florida State.
They were undefeated, so
it won the ACC championship game, and they said no, you can't play.
With the
but that was a 4-0.
Right?
That was a 4-team deal. This is a 12-team deal, so we'll see if that matters. But yeah,
well, should.
But the precedent is there. The precedent is there. Matt, we had a rather spirited conversation, myself and that imbecile from Ohio, who will remain nameless. And he went on some rant about how our tradition is on par with Ole Miss's. When I said to him, if you're Ole Miss, you let Lane Kiffin coach in the playoff, because this is the only gas attack that you've ever let out of your body in like 50 years. Right, Matt? You agree with me, right, Matt? You let him coach because you're Ole Miss. You're a never was, Matt, in the sport of college football. And if we had a super conference and it was 35 teams, both Mississippi schools would get left at home. And I didn't do it, by the way. They're both small geography, small footprint schools, and we could absorb all their players. I didn't do it. John, do you buy that? If we had a 35-team super conference, would Ole Miss be one of the teams? John?
Probably not.
Thank you.
However,
yes,
Ole Miss is doing really well in the transfer portal.
Yes.
Which tells me it's got a healthy NIL program going.
Sure.
Well, if you can do that, you can play with the big boys. That's all it takes. If
Matt,
you got the money.
Matt, take a side because we just got a super chat from Ars Manning. I think we've arrived. But go ahead, Matt. Ars Manning just super chatted with us.
I mean, I don't know what Ole Miss should do. I mean, you can't have a guy take another job and still coach your team. But it also is kind of not a once in a lifetime thing, but this is, a chance for Ole Miss to make the playoffs, and they're a program that can't do that every year. They just don't have all the resources and the ability to do that. So I don't know.
They're a school that's never played in an SEC championship
Going
game in 35 years.
Going
but
going back to
a lot of that doesn't matter anymore, though.
Well, going back to whether they'd be in a super conference, they have a lot of players in that state. So I don't know if that would factor in or not.
No, you would just absorb them. The other teams would absorb them. They would be a fun producer of players for the product.
However, the fact that Ole Miss is faring so well in the portal.
Yep.
It's having to compete financially to get guys in the portal.
Yep.
You don't do that with your charm. You have to have the money. So that tells me they can be competitive. And it's really something Lane Kiffin should think about. I think there's a big difference, too, in LSU and Florida. I don't care about all the crazy stuff going on with LSU. You got a better chance of winning a championship at LSU than you do at Florida.
History tells you that. Let's go to the phones. I'm just not just not sure how good the Florida job is. I take 5 cracks at saying that. I'm just saying it out loud. How many ways we gonna split the pie down in the Sunshine State right now? Because Florida State sucks. Comrade Golish looked hot. Miami has cooled. And Florida's been mediocre. Back in the day, one of those teams was always awesome. Now everybody goes in there and raids that deal because of what? N to the I to the L. And I'm not so sure how good Florida's NIL program is. You remember? I think the guy's name was Rashada. There was a quarterback. He says, hey, they didn't pay me. I just went back into the portal. They weren't organized.
I think they were slow coming out of the gate. And I think if they'd had their house in order NIL-wise, I think Dan Mullen could have been successful there.
Back to the phones we go. Somebody challenged me to name 35 programs objectively better than Ole Miss. That's not the point. The point is, if we redrew this thing, Vanderbilt wouldn't be in it. The 2 Mississippi schools would not be in it. That's not what I'm saying. You're missing the point. The point is, college football is going to a TV product. It's what it's going for, and an engagement product. And Ole Miss doesn't have a huge fan base. The huge fan bases are the ones that are going to get, with the huge footprint, the BYUs of the world, the Utahs of the world. Those are the teams that are going to be in the Super Conference. You're missing my point. Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, this is Taylor, representing 4 generations of listeners, 3 generations of callers. It's a sad day when college sports, it's all about the endowment. It's all about the NIL budget. And that's the decision Lane Kiffin's going to make. If he was smart, there'd be like a net promoter score for fandoms, fan bases, to see how engaged they are, how much they're donating to the university and what their NIL pocketbooks have, because that's what it's all about today. And Big Josh was right, Tony. He didn't do it. It's not his fault, but Big Josh was right. And if you give me a little latitude, when diehards like Josh, Big Josh, become complacent, college athletics are at a very dangerous fork in the road, my friend. One fork is Danny Dollars looking to sell me $750 commemorative bricks. Butch Jones would be very proud of Danny Dollars. It's also mercenary portal rentals. I don't want to even call them players. They're mercenary portal renters going to the highest bidder, Tony. That fork also shows you greedy transactional agents playing teams and players against each other, just seeking their bonus. Guess what? Unless players are moving around playing at 4 teams in 4 years and coaches are moving every couple of years, those agents don't make the big payday.
Yep. It's all about instability
Tony,
for the agents. You're right. Instability enriches those people. It enriches Jimmy Sexton for sure, man.
Tony, the common fan is figuratively getting squeezed to death, not only trying to pay for their family to attend a game, but they're also using a word you use incorrectly many, many times, but I still love you, Tony. They're literally getting squeezed to death trying to enter and exit the stadium because the VIPs get the premium gates, Tony. Danny Dollars always looks to squeeze more revenue when he can. Tony, the historic G10 parking garage, which has songs written about it and has the best vantage point in all of college sports, in my humble opinion, is getting demolished for an entertainment venue, Tony. This isn't the Battery. When is Danny Dollars going to start selling crypto vol Bitcoins to raise money? That's probably next. I bet I have an email in my inbox from Danny Dollars. Tony, again, Big Josh was right. He didn't do it. It's pickup sports. College athletics is pickup sports. It's who's ready to wear the jersey for the highest price for the next few months. There's no player loyalty. There's no more bleeding orange, Tony.
Didn't we
Players
enjoy
and
those
coaches
two guys?
bleed green.
But we enjoyed those two guys from Ole Miss last year. They made our baseball season.
Yeah, Tony.
Right.
And I saw one of those guys joke around about guzzling beers and he need to hit a home run when Tennessee was down by 8 runs. Do you think he bleeds orange? He bleeds green, Tony. It's not GBO. It's GBG. Big Josh was right. He didn't do it. GBG. It's a travesty. I'm out.
865-200-5402.
Strong call.
Taylor.
Yeah. Here's the problem.
Outstanding.
The problem is that some people aren't ready to go there and agree with these folks and are holding on, and some people look, and I'm caught in the middle because I still love it.
Well, don't you think some people
But
are
the
scared
yeah.
to even think about where it's going?
Sure.
They would rather not think about it.
And I do think, Matt, that the Danny Whites of the world are going to exhaust our fan base if they're not careful. I think Danny is a tone-deaf guy who doesn't understand where he stands right now. I'm just telling you, he's not amusing. And if they go 7-5, people are going to be less amused with him, Matt Dixon. That's getting ready to happen. Danny's level of amusement, he doesn't know that either, Matt. He does not know it by the way he conducts himself. He doesn't know it.
No, I don't think he does, and I don't think he has great standing among a majority of the fan base with the way that, like Taylor said, you're pricing out just your everyday normal fans to help create everything, and are one of the reasons you've been so successful, for a long time. The fan base is just unmatched, and a lot of those people are being priced out, and the prices continue to skyrocket year after year, and he wants to add a third deck to Neyland Stadium or the entertainment, all that stuff is nobody cares about that but him.
And he loves it. He thinks we all really just can't wait to go over to his entertainment district. What's wrong with what we're currently doing for games? What's wrong with our Calhoun's thing on Friday where people come from miles and miles? Hey, Danny, you ain't shaking my people, bro. You ain't shaking my people. You can try, but you're not. because we have a connection. We have a connection here, bro. Ars Manning says the following. John, I want your thoughts on this, then we go back to the phones. Kirby Smart is the hardest working man in sports. He wins championships, signs #1 classes, works over law enforcement, and cuts his own hair with a Flowbee that he bought in the 1990s when he was a player at Georgia. Still uses a Flowbee. Your thoughts on all that, John?
Well, Kirby Smart can cut his hair any way he wants to, and Georgia fans won't care. He can wear a wig on game day.
Yeah, he could wear razor stubble and not shave, and nobody's going to say a word to him.
No, he could get up to 300 pounds, and they'll say, well, that's Kirby, just living large.
Kirby bulking up.
Coaching big and living large. He, that was a masterpiece, what he did against Texas.
That thing that he did with the that thing that he did with the onside kick, which is basically like saying to that guy, like Brian said, I beat you 3 times in a year, and I'm fixing to put the cherry on top of the sundae.
And then Sarkisian, coaches always say, coaches never want to say they were surprised by anything.
Right.
And so Steve Sarkisian said, yeah, we had prepared for that. We thought that might happen. Yeah. That I mean, it's like the worst quote of the year. You were expecting that to happen, and that's how it played out? Gosh. Good thing you weren't caught by surprise.
You know, the thing about, and I know Tony's gone now, the thing I loved about Tony Vitello's tenure here was that he would look right at you and go, I was wrong. We handled that poorly. This thing was now he was very thin-skinned, and he would be mopey and, you criticize, you ain't coach. He's mopey, okay? Whatever. He's Italian. But he had the capacity to say, you know what? I was wrong. Or, you know what? He didn't ever said the guy's name, but he said, I learned from the Maui Yahuna deal. Heupel had a real chance yesterday, and I'm not going to pick on him, okay? I'm not. But all you have to say about the Boo Carter thing is, if I had a chance to do that over again, we would have handled it differently. And the fans would go, you know what? You're just kind of one of us. It's cool. I made a mistake today at work. I did this. I wish I would have done that, or this didn't go the way I wanted it to go, or you know what I mean? I mean, it's just, I wonder why, John, he won't let his hair down a little bit. Just a little bit for the fans to see. Because I know he's a good dude. I know he's kind of a behind the scenes, a pretty self-deprecating, kind of fun guy to be around. Why won't he just do it a little bit? Let us in just a little bit, John.
Because he's making $9 million a year. And when you're making that kind of money, you got a lot to lose. And you don't want to admit that you're vulnerable. You don't want to let people know that you did make a mistake.
The guy that he learned the game under was the ultimate human coach to a fault, right? Just a little bit. I mean, Mike Leach was the ultimate free spirit in front of the camera, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was completely different personality. You're asking him to be somebody else. He's not that. Nobody else was that either.
Just a little, hey, you know what? The Boo Carter thing, we really wanted to help him. I made a mistake.
Well, it goes back to the post-game press conference. I don't think he had told Boo Carter that he was dismissed.
Yeah, that's right.
But did Boo Carter did he even earn the right?
That's my point.
No, he hadn't.
That's
just
my
said
point.
The guy doesn't show up for a game. He should have said it right then, post-game. Don't coddle these guys. These guys are getting paid money. You need to make them accountable. That's my take on it.
I think you're right. Look, if we're going to be professional and you're going to be unprofessional,
you're gone.
And look, and the Boo Carter, I'm rooting for him. We're not here to target him. His mom's out there releasing his releasing his medical records? I mean,
How embarrassing
what
that
are we
was.
What are we doing?
But Tony, you've got to, Josh Heupel, this sounded like something. We're way past this. When Josh Heupel talks about, we feel obligated.
Yeah.
We're helping mold these young men.
Yeah.
No. You're in a business now.
Yeah.
And there's the molding has to be done already, and now you got to deal with the ramifications of it. This is not turning boys into men. This is a business, and these guys are making money, and they need to understand that if you're out in the business world and you're getting paid to do something, then you're expected to fulfill obligations.
We're going to continue on the other side. I want to get every call in here. We're going to stay on and do a TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime, even though I just had trouble winding down last night after being on with the basketball thing. I'm not used to doing that in the middle of the week and didn't get much sleep, but I'm going to get a good nap this afternoon, I will tell you that.
You're such a giver, though, Tony.
As we continue with more on the other side. By the way, speaking of which, today